Hello. In this video, we will be taking a look at two modded creatures from Ark Survival Ascended, the Dzungariotherium and the Barsboldia, and we're going to find out who's stronger. This is going to be a little casual battle of sorts, but it should have interesting results. Our first warrior is the Dzungariotherium. The tame is level 225. And they average at about 20,000 health and 454% melee. The opponent will be a wild Barsboldia, spawned in at level 225. A wild Barsboldia will typically average at almost 8,000 health, and their melee will average at 273%. Alright, here we begin. The Barsboldia comes charging in, and the Dzungariotherium is stomping away, throwing blows, but the Barsboldia is using its little moves, swiping left and right, ducking and dodging. But our Dzungariotherium is hitting it pretty hard with 200s, nearly 300 damage per stompy. A 584, that is so much damage. And we don't even have an eighth of health off by the Barsboldia. That mega stomp does throw us back, but it delays the inevitable. The Barsboldia is down for the count, finished off with a brutal stomp. Well, it looks like our Dzungariotherium has defeated the Barsboldia. That is an equal level, but it seems like the Barsboldia just doesn't have the same amount of health and the same amount of damage that this tamed Dzungario has. Our next warrior is the Barsboldia. At level 225, their health averages at over 8,000, and their melee can average at 360%. The opponent will be a wild Dzungariotherium. At level 225, a wild Dzungario can average at 13,000 health and 290% melee. It looks like the Barsboldia has got its work cut out for him this time. And the battle begins. The Dzungario comes in swinging and stomping. The Barsboldia starts things off with a mega stomp that does 14,000 damage, sending the Zung into the air. So far, the Barsboldia is looking a little slow, a little clunky. It does have a learning curve when it comes to using a Barsboldia, so it could be a bit of user error on this battle. But the Barsboldia is in there, hitting, stomping. Unfortunately, already health is halfway down, and the Dzungario is not even with a scratch, barely bleeding. This is not looking good for the Barsboldia, but he's a champion. He's still in there. He's still trying to fight him off, fend off the big fiend. David versus Goliath. The sizes are so different. Our Barsboldia is already down to 25% health. We've got the blood halo. We're seeing red, and not a good fighting way. I don't know, the damage, the DPS on the Dzungario is so high. What's it looking? Are we going to scrap it? Or are we going to be scrapped? The Barsboldia is out for the count, and the Dzungario is another winner yet again. A wild Dzungario is able to defeat the tamed Barsboldia. But maybe we were doing something wrong. What's going on? Even after all that fighting, the Dzungario still has 50% health left. I think we might have to try the battle again and see if we can play towards some of the natural strengths and the passive abilities of the Barsboldia. Since we aren't leveling anything into melee on either of the fights, we have to use some of the secret abilities that the Barsboldia has. And according to the mod description, its weight capacity is its secret, and we have to load it up with weight. So we're going to collect some rocks, get the wood that's in my inventory, and load up the Barsboldia and see if it helps whatsoever. There's also power in berries, which we've increased its weight capacity by jamming a bunch of yellow berries into his tum-tum. Hopefully that will increase the melee. We will see. The fight is about to begin. Big stomp. Yes. Oops, it did a little bit of damage. That wasn't good. 700 compared to the 16,000 we saw earlier. Come on, Barsboldia, you can do it. You just have to take it down by 50%. Can't tell if he's running or if he's trying to turn back. Okay, he's turning back around. Finally, the Dzungariotherium is bloody, but you know, this can take a turn. They do have very fast attack speed. He could take out the Barsboldia in just a few throws. So let's see what our damage is looking like. We got 338, but these multi-stomps, even though it's 100 at a time, it just ticks away at the Barsboldia. There's our 1600, throwing them in the air. Keep at it, Barsboldia. Do your little moves. Slap them around. Kick, stomp, bite. Do what you can to take the throne in this fight. The stamina is low. The health is 50% already. This isn't looking good. If this were a fully healed Dzungariotherium, we might have been gone already. But we're ducking, we're weaving, we're stomping. 14,000 in the air again. Shame they don't, wild creatures don't take fall damage. Maybe we need a mod for that. Anyway, the fight is continuing. Already down to a quarter health, but the Dzungario is looking pretty darn bloody, and it's out. It's fallen over. Barsboldia, you finally made it. Sure, you died once, but you've taken this win. Time to take the victory stomp. I believe in you, buddy. So, we've won this fight. Amazing. It only took 2 tries. I'm pretty sure Barsboldia can easily win against a 150 wild Dzungariotherium, but even then, might take some blows, might take a little scuffing. Just to give Barsboldia an edge, we're doing another fight, this time with the Dark Edge saddle, which has a cannon on the back. We've loaded our Barsboldia with cannons, and we're going to be poising it for a firefight. Let's get into position. Going to turn about, line up our shot, and start blasting. Oh, first one missed. Don't worry, we won't be able to miss at point blank range. And all there is to it is to keep blasting. It does do a considerable amount of damage compared to Barsboldia's regular melee attacks. Less considerably than the Mega Stomp, but we do have a cooldown on the Mega Stomp. Our only chance now to survive this is to knock out the Dzungariotherium with the cannons. As we see here, it is knocked out. All we need to do now is finish off our enemy. And Barsboldia will simply stomp away while he's snoozing. Oh, a little Mega Stomp and he's floating. Soon he will be in a perpetual dream world where he will never wake up. I almost feel like this might be the only way for Barsboldia to win this fight, just using the cannons to knock it out. That is the way you have to tame a Dzungariotherium, so maybe in a way, I'm not sure this could also be a method of taming Dzungariotherium, but it just does so much damage. I'm not sure. Could be something we could test in the future. Until then, we'll just have our poor little Barsboldia chipping away at him without taking any additional damage. Probably the cleanest fight yet. But that doesn't mean the Barsboldia is any less effective. Definitely good for PvP fighting, as any human enemies that are flung into the air will definitely take massive fall damage once they land. And here we are, Barsboldia is going to take in the victory stomp. We believe in you, Barsboldia. Get him out of there! And finally, we are a clean winner. Let us say Barsboldia's name with reverent pride, everyone. Just in all fairness, I decided to spawn in a new Dzungariotherium and just let the AI fight him, because I was thinking maybe I'm just not that good at controlling a Barsboldia. The controls, as I said before, have a bit of a learning curve, like how to time each move, timing in the Mega Stomp, waiting for the cooldown for that. And I thought, you know what's better than me is maybe the AI. So the moves are smooth, you know. He's ducking, he's weaving, he's dodging, he's sliding, he's knocking him back. So good. I loved watching it, and you know, I was hopeful for a second, but when I looked closely, the Dzungariotherium was still hitting so fast. And our guy was already really bloody. He did do a lot of damage to the Dzungario. More than half of his health had been knocked off, and this was a freshly spawned in one. 225, by the way. And, I hate to say it, but Barsboldia just can't match his attack speed. He's just not fast enough. And you know, I like Barsboldia. He's really cool. I love herbivores. And you know, I think he does have a place. He may not be as strong or as fast. I should say as fast because his strength is where the speed is. He may not be as fast as Dzungariotherium, but you know what? I like them both. And I'm glad to have them both on my arcs because we need more herbivores, especially those that'll smack you around. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope to see you next time. Links for these two mods will be in the description. If you're interested, go ahead and download them. Just use them for a little bit, you know? There's no harm in it. If you don't like it, just uninstall it. That's what I do all the time. Anyway, hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe, Survivor.